Hello, and here's a film about the art of conversation with AI, or more precisely, unlocking better results with using iterative methods. So let's get into that. This is all about prompt engineering. The prompts, the commands that you give AI when you're trying to use AI to help you in your studies. So, in this film, you'll learn how to refine your queries to AI models to get the best possible results using iteration. So, let's understand what prompt iteration really means. So, imagine when you're asking AI to do something, imagine you're having a conversation rather than giving a computer a command. That will put you in the right frame of mind. So, this is a process of going back and forth and refining your requests that you're giving your AI tool. So, it's a bit like a dialogue, a bit like talking to a friend, a mentor, a teacher, or a knowledgeable expert in the field that you're asking it about. So, when you're iterating or going through this back and forth refinement, you start with perhaps quite a broad question, and the AI will provide an answer, and then you follow up that answer with a clarifying question or series of questions, getting more and more precise to the answer that you need. So the core idea is quite simple, really. You kind of have a draft answer and actually a draft question that you're asking your AI. That comes back with the first response. So you're testing the AI to see if the prompt that you've given it initially is a good one, and you're evaluating the response that you get. And then you're refining and building upon that initial response, and perhaps the second response and the third response that you've got time and time again, getting a more precise and useful and valuable answer. So you're kind of building up layers, you can imagine it as. So you start with your initial prompt, you build up layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, etc., on top of your initial question or conversation that you're having with your AI. And this is called a layering technique. So, in this layering technique, you start with perhaps hopefully a clear command, such as you found this article online and you'd like AI to summarize it. So, you've asked, summarize this article. But then you can actually do a bit better. You can give it some context. So you add some background or constraints. So, for example, instead of just summarize this article, you can ask it to summarize in 3 bullet points, focusing on, let's say, sustainable agriculture. Perhaps that's what the article has in it. Then, on top of that, you can add another layer, a persona, or a kind of character or person like way that you want AI to act. So, you can assign this role to shape the tone and the type of expertise that you'd like AI to take on for you. So, in this case, asking about sustainable agriculture. I might say, act as an agricultural scientist and summarize in 3 bullet points this article. You might also then add another layer on top of that to get more precisely what you want. So you might specify a structure or emphasis. So, for example, you might add list the most critical finding first as your format. So each layer, you can see, improves the clarity and improves the precision of what you get out of your AI model. You can also approach it in a sort of step-by-step approach, and this is called the chain of thought method. So this is ideal for complex tasks like problem solving or problem analysis, and you prompt the AI to think step by step before giving you the final answer. So this breaks down its reasoning, it improves the transparency of what the AI has done, and it can help boost the accuracy of what it gives you. So, for example, if you're interested in photosynthesis, you might say, explain photosynthesis. First, list each stage with its inputs and outputs, then give me the final explanation. There's another approach you could use, and this is called the tree of thought. So the tree of thought is good at breaking down problems. It splits complex tasks into smaller steps. And you can imagine it like a tree with many branches and leaves on the end of those branches. So your core concept starts at the root of the tree, and you're asking AI to come up with many different thought pathways. So some of those pathways might end up as dead ends and not be very useful to you, but you can discard those kind of ideas and go up the main pathway to perhaps a potential final solution. But instead of that, what AI might think is the final solution, you might like it to further optimize that final solution by giving it an optimized prompt and getting to the top of the tree and giving you a really great, valuable answer. So this method generates multiple paths. It explores different reasoning routes, and you're asking AI to evaluate and rank and assess each path to find the strongest and backtrack if it needs to and revisit earlier steps if a path fails and find the optimal solution, the best outcome, not just the first. So, for example, if you're thinking about writing a story, you might ask it to write a compelling opening for a fantasy story about a magic wielding detective in a steampunk futuristic city. Show your thought branches. So, this is a way of the tree of thought approach to asking AI. And here's another example. So, imagine you're trying to figure out the best way to do something like deciding what to make for dinner, and you've got certain ingredients in your store cupboards already. And instead of just guessing, you like AI to think about a few different ideas first. So, for example, AI might give you the first idea. So, make spaghetti. Now, you need to think, do I have all the stuff for that? Well, no, I don't, because I haven't got any sauce. So let's throw this idea out and try again. What about tacos? Do I have all the stuff for that? Actually, yes, I do. So this could possibly be a good pathway. But idea 3, there's something else. How about pizza? Do I have all the stuff for that? Yes, I do also. So this is perhaps another good path to follow. So now you have 2 good pathways, a taco or pizza. So you can pick the one you like better. So this is the tree of thought. It's just a way of telling AI to think like this. First, brainstorm some ideas. Check that these ideas will work against a series of rules. And then please pick the best option. So, specifically, here's another idea based on a mission to plan tonight's dinner. So, here are the rules. The meal must be made with ingredients I already have, and I would perhaps take a photo of what's in my fridge or in my store cupboard and feed that into the AI so it knows the ingredients I've got already. And I haven't got much time, so the cooking time must be less than 45 minutes. The meal must be healthy, and the meal must be a dish that I and my partner will both enjoy. And I can give it some ideas about that. And then I can give it specific instructions. So please brainstorm possible dishes. Give me 3 different meal ideas that you think I could make. And for each idea, list the main ingredients that I would need, and evaluate each idea. Go through each of my 3 ideas, your 3 ideas one by one, and check them against the rules I've given you. And for your first idea, do you have all the ingredients? Will it take less than 45 minutes to cook? Is it healthy? And will my partner like it? Repeat this process for the other ideas you have, idea 2 and 3, and get rid of those bad ideas. Discard any meal idea that breaks even one of the rules. For example, if an idea requires a trip to the store, I'm not going to do it. So then please finalize the plan. From the ideas that are left, choose the best one, state which meal you will make, and explain how it meets all 4 of those rules. So you can see it's quite a complex set of instructions, but you're asking it to fit a complex set of rules. So this might be really, really beneficial if you're short of time and you don't know what to cook for dinner tonight. The best way is practice, practice, practice. The key to effective prompt engineering is to experiment. You can't really break the system, so you just got to keep trying. Start with a simple prompt, see the output, and then repeat the process. Iterate that process and treat AI as a powerful tool that requires clear and refined and perhaps layered instructions to give you the best value output that it can. So by mastering these iterative methods, these refining methods, you can significantly enhance your academic work, from drafting essays and writing reports or analyzing complex and complicated data. So I hope you've liked that film. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my First Class University channel that you've been watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you subscribe, you'll get all the updates of films that I regularly put out. So good luck with your studies and see you around. Bye.